So I'm with David Jewkes, and he's one of the old-time treasure hunters here. I met him clear back in the early 90s, doing some treasure hunting up in the Unearths Mountains, looking for the Lost Roads mine, looking for Spanish gold bars. But Dave's a wealth of knowledge and got all kinds of stories. And Dave, you got a story about your uncle, I think it was, that found a Spanish gold coin. Tell me about that story.
That's a pretty interesting story. My dad, they were living down in St. George too, and his sister and her husband lived down there in this little condo out there, kind of over in the Washington area down below that Walmart. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. Anyway, there's a vacant field that's nothing's been built right across the parking lot from where they live in this condo project. Anyway, Dad calls me up and sends me a photo in my email about this gold coin here. It's a 1684 minted in Lima, Peru. Markings on it. It's a 8 reel gold piece they found right there in that field right next to their condo. How they found it is their grandkids are out there running around. There's a small group of trees right next to the fence that goes over there past and there's a ditch and this group of trees. The kid was running through there, tripped and fell, and right there in front of his face was this coin poking up out of the dirt. He picks it up, runs back, Grandpa, 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 look what I found, look what I found. His grandpa snatched that from his hands and, I'll give you $2 for it. So gives him $2 for it. And so then my dad took this pictures of this. So about, I don't know, a couple months later, I figured I'm going to go down there. I got a metal detector. So me and my cousin and my dad went over to this field, and we spent hours and hours combing this thing. And there's nothing been built out there, so it's a virgin land. There's not nothing down there, you know. So we figured it's got to be, you know, this probably dropped back then, and it's been sitting there ever since this thing's been dropped. I don't know if Spaniards dropped it or if some dude had it later and dropped it or what, but so anyway, took my metal detector out there, marked every hit that I was getting, and my dad and my cousin went down and dug behind me everywhere throughout this whole field. We found some trash here and there, but never did find any more. I was hoping to find a whole box full of those down there, but
heck yeah,
that's pretty good. So
with that said, though, David, man, we're getting ready to have our moonlight gathering up in Altamont at the city park. The mayor there has been gracious enough to let us use the city park, which right there is right at the base of the UN is all the major drainages where all the Spanish activity went on, where the stories of all the Spanish gold bars are. You know, right there in the Rock Creek drainage, the Moon Lake drainage, the Yellowstone drainage, you know, the gateway to the high Uenas, where all the stories are. And we're going to be having, you know, I call it the Treasure Hunters Gathering, the Treasure Hunters Rendezvous, but it really ain't, because it's more than treasure hunting. You know, we're going to be talking about treasure hunting. We're going to be talking about UFO stuff, because a lot of UFO stuff happens in that area. You know, you got Skinwalker Ranch, it's not too far away from there. And so, and also, there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings in that. I'm not really into the Bigfoot and the UFO stuff, but it's interesting to hear about this story. So I'm more into the treasure hunting, and a lot of treasure hunters, you know, come and you know, treasure hunters are pretty secretive. You know, we don't like to tell people our stories to people. We don't know who they are. You know, and so if they're tight-lipped, it's tough to get stories out of them if you don't know who they are. So if you come to this and you want to hear some of the stories, you get with me and we'll go walking around talking to some of these treasure hunters, because they don't want to talk. They don't want to stand up and tell their stories. So you get a lot of the Bigfoot people and the UFO people that tell their stories. Treasure hunters, they don't want to tell their stories. So get with me, man. We'll walk around and we'll corner them. We'll hit them up and we'll get them to start telling their stories.
You can make them talk, huh?
So and on top of that, you know, David here's done a lot of work for us, you know, for helping put on the Moon Lake Gathering. You know, he's built our signs, our banners, and all that, and all done it off of his dime. So, and this is the Moon Lake Gathering here. It's It's free to you guys. Just show up. You know, you got to pay for, you know, whether you're camping or staying in a motel and your meals and all that. But the event's free. However, we ask for donations if you want to, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. But what David's done is he's put together some T-shirts, some cups, and all that to help promote this, and this donation, some of the money is going to go to help pay for this. And so I'll put in a little thing here right now talking about how you can go to get some of these T-shirts and cups and stuff, and then wear your T-shirts to the event. Yep. And with that said, that's our wrap, and hope to see everybody at the gathering.